Here's something you might not know about Tom Hiddleston. Nowadays, this man is world famous for his awesome performance as the God of Mischief. But did you know that when he got this role, he was actually auditioning to play Thor? Yeah, I bet you didn't know Tom's natural hair is actually a curly blonde. So when the casting call went out, this guy went through a 3-month audition process to try to get the role of Thor. He got really buff for it, and you can actually find the audition video on YouTube. But after all that work, they decided he was not a good fit for the role. However, the director really liked Tom and saw a lot of potential in his acting ability, his sense of humor, and his personality to the point that he just offered him the role of Loki without him ever having to audition for it. And according to Tom, he really loves playing this character, and I think we can all see why. I think everything worked out for the best. Hey, can you guys clear something up for me? You know how we measure years with BC and AD, around Jesus? BC is before Christ, before he was born, and AD is after death, after Jesus died. But here's the thing. Jesus was alive for 33 years. Where do those years fall? Are those included in BC or AD? That wouldn't be accurate because before Christ isn't during Christ and after death wouldn't be while he was alive. Is there some DC during Christ era that I don't know about? Like, where do we put those years? Do we record them at all? Also, does anybody know how in the world we got every single culture in the world to agree to use that kind of measurement of years? Like, a lot of those cultures don't even believe in Jesus. How did that convo go? Yeah, we know you don't believe this guy ever existed, but we're gonna need you to record all of your history around his birth and death. How in the world did that work? You know, as a lover of mythology, I'm obviously a huge lover of holiday mascots, so it really bothers me that during New Year's Eve, nobody dresses up as Baby New Year. I mean, you always see Santa Clauses on Christmas, you see Easter bunnies on Easter, all kinds of characters on Halloween. I've seen people dress as leprechauns for St. Patrick's Day, even past presidents for President's Day, and throwing on American flag suits for the 4th of July. So how come on New Year's Eve, nobody throws on a big old diaper and a Happy New Year's sash and runs around Times Square during the big ball drop? Come on, in New York of all places, that's what I expect to see. I'm disappointed in you people. How am I supposed to keep my spirits up without that? I may just have to start doing it myself next year. Hey, what do people say when they see a Draugr? Dead man walking. Fun fact! Did you know that the Lord of the Rings franchise was highly based on Norse mythology? You see, the writer, J.R.R. Tolkien, had an Icelandic nanny when he was a child who would tell him Norse myth stories, which he loved. They inspired him to write The Hobbit, which of course led to Lord of the Rings. The dwarves, elves, and trolls were pulled directly from Norse mythology. Middle-earth was based on Midgard. Gandalf was inspired by Odin. The orcs were based on the Dark Elves. Smaug was based on Fafnir. The One Ring itself was based on the Ring of Andvari, and so on and so on. Man, isn't it wholesome that the stories a loving nanny tells to a child can lead to the creation of one of the most epic franchises of all time? Wow, Gandalf was right. The world really can be changed by the smallest of things. Alright, we're doing a new Greek mythology movie. We need a villain. So let's do a little search for Greek gods who are not good people. Whoa! Wow, didn't know that. Alright, gonna have to be way more specific. Cruel, deceitful, wrathful, petty, disgustingly perverted. I'm nuts to this, I'll just pick Hades again. Listen, son, Zeus had to kill you because your healing powers were preventing anybody from dying. The world was becoming overpopulated. Now, I convinced him to let me bring you back, but you can't let that happen again. Well, what am I supposed to do? Just stop healing people? Don't worry, son, we've come up with a new system that'll help thin out the herd a bit. Asclepius! My friend is dying! He needs your help! I'll get right on it. Just one question first. Do you guys have health insurance? What? No, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. Hey, my mythology puns put the sigh in Osiris. Hey, don't get mad. I put a lot of thought into these. Fun fact! We all know the incredible story of the Odyssey, and I'm sure we all know that the Odyssey is a sequel to the Iliad, but did you know there's a sequel to the Odyssey called the Telegony? Yeah, see, remember how Odysseus hooked up with Circe during the Odyssey? Well, turns out he left her with a little bun in the oven, and she ended up giving birth to a son named Telegonus. When Telegonus reaches adulthood, his mother Circe sends him off to find his father, and she gives him an enchanted poisonous spear to defend himself. However, during his journey, he ends up being forced to dock because of a storm, and because of the storm, he doesn't realize he's actually docked in Ithaca, the place where his father Odysseus is. Now, because he doesn't know he's on his own father's land, he starts stealing the nearby cows, and his father Odysseus comes out to stop him, not knowing that's his son who's stealing the cows, and they get into a fight, and of course, in typical Greek myth fashion, Telegonus accidentally kills his own father with the poison spear. He finds out afterwards, and he's not too happy about it. Man, Odysseus goes through all that trouble in the Odyssey for over 10 years to get home, just to end up getting killed anyway. With Odysseus dead, his now widowed wife Penelope and their legitimate son Telemachus now have nowhere to go. So Telegonus decides to take them back to Circe's island with him. And this is where it gets very gross and typically Greek. Telemachus ends up marrying Circe, and Telegonus ends up marrying Penelope. So basically, these two women each married their son's father's sons. Sure. Nothing weird about that. You gotta be careful while you're in Brazil, buddy. We've got some pretty weird mythical creatures here, including an evil headless mule who runs around shooting fire out of its neck hole. Wow. Any advice on how I can avoid that thing? Oh yeah, just don't carry any shiny objects with you. That way the creature can't spot you. It's got bad eyesight. Bad eyesight. Yeah, bad eyesight. The creature with no head has bad eyesight. Exactly. Question: how does it have any eyesight? It doesn't have eyes! That doesn't make any sense! Oh, I'm sorry. Do you typically encounter more logical sentient headless bodies? Simplified mythology. Thousands of people die so one man can get laid. An entire kingdom is destroyed because the king thinks it's a good idea to accept gifts from people he's at war with. A man spends 10 years trying to get home while literally everybody is hitting on his wife. He spends most of those years hooking up with other women. A group of war victims are trying to find a new home, but they keep getting delayed by their leader's relationship drama. Hera starts a war for no reason. A guy accidentally kills his father while looking for his father. Then he and his half-brothers start banging each other's moms. A man saves his wife from a kidnapper, then gets mad at his wife for being in the house that the kidnapper put her in. A monkey's ass gets lit on fire and burns down a city. Two guys beat the crap out of each other and then immediately become best friends. They both die trying to find a way to never die. And now, pickup lines. Wow. Last time a woman was this gorgeous, the Trojan War happened. Let's roleplay. I'll be Zeus, and you be literally anyone else. Are you the Minotaur? 'Cause I want to attack you from behind. I know I'd fail the Orpheus test, 'cause I could never keep myself from looking at you. Your body is a labyrinth, and I want to be Theseus. You know these stories all end in tragedy, so we might as well enjoy the time we have. Hey! You know why Hanuman is so lonely? Because there's no Hanu woman. So here's a mythical creature who's definitely unique, the Erchitu from Sardinian folklore. You know werewolves? Yeah, this is basically a were-cow, with candles on his horns and two little devils who hang out with him and poke him with hot skewers. What, your friends don't do that? The legend says that when a man has done something truly terrible, he is cursed to become this creature every time a full moon rises. Not sure where the devils come from, though. Also, do they just meet up with him at night and go somewhere else during the day? After taking this form, the creature wanders around until it finds a house. Then, it stops and roars 3 times so loudly the entire country can hear it. Calm down, bro. And after this creature roars at the house, the owner of that house will die within the year. Yeah, that's what you get for owning a house. I don't get it. There are only two known ways to end this creature's curse. One is to chop both its horns off in a single strike, and another is to blow out both candles in a single blow. You know, seeing as this creature walks around at night, I'm kinda surprised the wind doesn't just knock out both candles. Now that would be funny. And if you look to your left, you'll see Akira, our local wise man. He comes up with all the best yokai that we use in our stories. What if bears could turn into monsters? What if snails could turn into monsters? What if umbrellas could turn into monsters? What if sandals could turn into monsters? What if blankets could turn into monsters? What if lanterns could turn into monsters? What if dead people could turn into monsters? What if dead people could turn into monsters? What if dead people could turn into monsters? What if walls could turn into monsters? What if plates could turn into monsters? What if dish rags could turn into monsters? What if monsters could turn into monsters? Welcome to Japan, though while you're here, you're gonna want to watch out for the Kappas. They're a common creature we have who enjoy pulling pranks, farting, looking up women's skirts, kidnapping, murdering, forcing themselves on people, eating people alive, and ripping out people's anuses. Well, first, holy crap, and second, what should I do if I do encounter one of those? Well, see, the Kappas have a little caved-in area on their head that needs to be filled with water, otherwise they can't move. So, should you encounter one, just bow to it, then the Kappa will bow back, the water will fall out of its head, problem solved. Okay, great, but why does the Kappa bow back? Well, it's common courtesy. Be rude not to. Common courtesy. From the farting, peeping, murdering sexual deviants who rip out people's anuses. They don't want to be rude. Buddy, if you want things to make sense, you came to the wrong country. Hephaestus, I need your help. My head is killing me. I can't make the pain stop. You're a smart guy. Is there any home remedy that can help me? Maybe your head will stop hurting if we smash it open. See, that right there is why I came to you. That's pure genius. Here's something you might not know about Exeggutor. The Pokemon Exeggutor is actually based on a Japanese yokai known as the Jinmenju, which translates to human face tree. Oh, Japan. These trees are known to bear either flowers with human faces or fruit with human faces. These faces are not able to talk, but they are able to laugh. In fact, if you want to take one of these little face fruits home, for whatever reason, I don't judge, all you gotta do is laugh at the tree. Then the fruits will laugh back. You get them to laugh hard enough, they'll fall out of the tree. You can grab a souvenir and go home and scare the crap out of all your friends. Why is this not an option in the Pokemon games? Come on, guys, let's honor the source material. I have a question about Argus from Greek mythology. For anyone who doesn't know, Argus was a servant of Hera who had eyes all over his body, and when Hera captured one of Zeus's lovers, she had Argus guard that lover in her prison. Zeus sent Hermes to free his lover, so what Hermes did was he played music that put all of Argus's eyes to sleep. Then he killed Argus and freed Zeus's lover. But why did Hermes kill Argus? He didn't need to, did he? Argus all of his eyes were asleep. You could have freed the girl right there. You didn't have to kill him. Did you? Did you want to? Maybe Hermes is more messed up than we thought he was. Greek god. Hey, you know what Odin likes best about his wife? She's friggin' beautiful.